Hello everyone, it's Mish here and welcome to my channel. If you're new, thank you for stopping by, and if you keep coming back, I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really love your comments and just getting to know some of you who are proving to be kindred spirits for sure. Today is going to be another day in the Margarete Miller Collage Challenge. If you are new here, it is a challenge. The prompts are developed by Margarete Miller, and I bought them on her Etsy shop, which is Mellow Miller. I'm not sure if there's other places that you can buy them or not. This year, I've chose to use a book I got at the thrift store, so it is quite a large book. I think my pages measure 8.5 by 11, something like that, and I'm really enjoying this kind of format. I do have a tutorial for all the pages that you're seeing here, except for this one, because that's just a page that I liked out of National Geographic. And I just love going through it and having a look at my pages. So yeah, so this week is week 36, and the prompts are a button, anything postal related. Just trying to see if that's the next page. Anything postal related. Something that lays eggs, something that turns or spins, a photo, and the bonus is some floral pattern paper. So I'm going to start with my floral paper, and I was rooting through trying to look for some paper. Then I had some ideas. I think this is out of tape. I had some ideas and I had some papers all laid out. Then I had to run to Costco this morning. So this is Saturday, and tomorrow I'll post this tonight for tomorrow. So I hate going to Costco on Saturday, but I've been so busy and just haven't had a chance to get there. I tend to try to go later in the evening, and then by then people are back home and whatnot. Anyway, so I was off doing my Costco, and I thought I would pop into Michael's. There's a 40% off coupon this week. And I haven't been in Michael's for a while. Haven't really needed anything. I have so much stuff already that I just thought, nah. But then I thought, well, if nothing else, I can use the 40% off on some tape refills or a bottle of glue. I'm running low on my Elmer's glue, whatever. So the problem is that when I tell myself I'm only going to go for a bottle of glue, I end up coming out with a lot more than what I anticipated. So I went and I happened to go buy the paper pads, and the paper pads are this week buy one get one free, and I said I don't need paper. I have enough paper already. Move that into frame. But I started flipping through, and there was none I really liked until I saw this one. And I absolutely adore this. I don't even think it can pick up on camera how lovely the pages are. It's like a pinky. It's just so lovely. So then I was rooting through to try to find another one to get for the buy one get one free, it was actually. And so then I just thought, well, no, I'm not going to get it because I can't find another one. Well, then I thought, buy two of these because you love them so much. So I got two of the same, and I'm so happy that I did. But yeah, so today, that was a little aside. Today, I thought I would dedicate my spread, because if you do watch me, you know that sometimes I do dedicate my spread. And this week, it's going to be dedicated to the Shipwreck Lighthouse. So I've recently been in PEI, and if you did see my flip throughs, one of my last videos was the flip through of my junk journal that I did while I was there. And we visited this lighthouse. Now, this isn't the original. The original was smaller lighthouse. It was more square. But the story behind this lighthouse is it is set in the community, and I apologize, Norma, if I say this all wrong, but I think it's called naufrage. It's spelled like this. It is the French for shipwreck. And in that community, on the northeast shore of Prince Edward Island, there is this lighthouse that's perched atop the cliff top. if you look out over the cliff, you see down the cliff the ocean, and up the cliff is the ocean as well. So it's not actually on a point. And the tragic story about this is that this lighthouse, not this one, but the original, was built in 1913. And the original lighthouse keeper, his name was Frank McKinnon. And he lived there when he was lighthouse keeper. And now you have to sort of think that Prince Edward Island at this time in 1913, as is today, in this area, is not highly populated. So it was probably quite isolated. It wasn't on a rock in the middle of the ocean, although Prince Edward Island kind of is an island in the middle of the ocean. But yeah, so I'm just trying to think. Sorry. I think I'm going to round that corner. So at this time when the lighthouse was built in 1913, Frank McKinnon moved into the lighthouse, as was required back in the day, to look after the lighthouse. And he moved in with his wife and his son. His son at the time would have been around 4 years old. And in this picture, this photo, Frank is to the top left there. That's Frank. And he manned the lighthouse, which was crucial for ships going up the Gulf of St. Lawrence. And if you don't really know the location of Prince Edward Island, it's in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. It's wedged between sort of Nova Scotia and Quebec, and it was quite a thoroughfare for ships going up the St. Lawrence River into Toronto and Upper Canada. So he would man this lighthouse. Well, in 1917, he was out lobster fishing, because in that area there's great lobster fishing, there's tuna, there would have been cod at this time. The cod has been it was depleted for quite a while, and there was a ban on cod fishing, but at this time there would have been plenty of cod and halibut, and he would go out to sea and he would go fishing. Well, one day in May, he went out and he was lost at sea. And it's funny because when I was doing this spread, I was kind of thinking about what I wanted to do, especially when I read the photo and something that turns or spins, because the light, of course, would turn. It doesn't necessarily spin, but it does turn. And that's when I kind of thought, oh, I know what I want to do, because this has been on my mind. So when I first thought about this, I wasn't really even thinking. I was just flipping through some stuff. It was kind of in my mind, let's try to find a lighthouse. And the funny thing is that I found in one of my calendars that I was going to use this picture of a bird, and it had the month of May. So I cut the May off and I just set it on my desk. And then that's when I really thought, oh, I want to dedicate this to Frank McKinnon, and more so his brave wife, who after he was lost at sea, his son, who was 8 years old at the time, there's a couple different stories about it, but the story that I like is that he showed his mother how to light the lamps, because he would do that with his father. And that from the night that he was lost at sea, for many years later, she was the lighthouse keeper, and she kept the light burning. So it was funny, because when I thought this is definitely what I'm going to do, this May was sitting here, and he actually died on May the 12th. So isn't that kind of eerie in a way? Stuff like that happens to me all the time. So for my buttons, I just have a few little buttons here. And I have these buttons. So I hope I didn't tack that too down, which I was thinking that I would tack underneath here, as I wanted them kind of to be nestled there. So the other thing that I was thinking about, and this is another kind of one of those moments, is I have a book of my grandmother's, and I think I might have showed this last year sometime when I was doing a collage, and it must have been maybe her mother's too. And it's this book that she used. I don't even know where they would have got this book, because my grandmother grew up in a very isolated part of Nova Scotia. But this was used as a scrapbook. So there's all kinds of clippings from the newspaper, mostly things to do with prayer and devotion, because she was quite devout. But there is this one picture of, I don't even know if I can find it, that kind of dates it. And I think her name was Dorothy Arnold, maybe, and she disappeared. And I looked up the date that she disappeared, or when she would have disappeared, and it was around 1910. So I know some of these clippings are from 1910. But with this book, I've kept it. I've had this for years and years. I've probably had this book, oh gosh, Grammy, I would have got it from her probably when I was in my 20s. So I've probably had it for 30 years, this book. But the thing that really kind of made my hair stand on end is that there's this poem that I always think about when I'm at a lighthouse or I'm out to Peggy's Cove, and it's called "I Kept the Light Still Burning, Sir." And it was in the newspaper. Again, I'm thinking it's the Chronicle Herald, because that's what have been at this time, around the early 1900s. And it says, "'Twas winter down the icy gulf, the Gulf St. Lawrence wide, where stands a lighthouse on a rock, the sailor's friend and guide. The keeper had his wife and son." And then that's when I was thinking, well, wow, maybe this incident was the inspiration for this poem, because they would have been at the same time. But in the poem, the man and the boy are lost at sea, and the wife is left on this, and it's more of a isolated island with the lighthouse, so that she had no access to mainland or other people. She was there alone until the steamships could come out and help and get her or bring her food. And so it just says that in wild despair, for months she lived on that lone rock, grief-stricken yet so brave, for nightly gleamed her beacon light across the gloomy wave. So when the ship finally arrived, and the captain of the ship says, "What did you do at last?" he asked, "when all were snatched from you?" "I kept the light still burning, sir, 'twas all that I could do." "O matchless answer, noble deed, a heroine we see, who though her loved ones had been lost, still thought of those at sea. Oh, may we, like this faithful soul, in sorrow's darkest night, still do our duty for our Lord and show the world his light." I just thought that, I don't know, I just really felt something for this place, and then remembering the poem, the little cross that has been in this book, that cross is probably going on 80, 90 years old. So anyway, so that's kind of my inspiration, and I do apologize if that's kind of not your jam, but it just really, I don't know, just resonated with me, and I thought that it was an interesting, how it all came together. So when I was on the island, I did get a number of little ephemera packs. I got these at the Bookmark in Charlottetown. So I just thought that as they were sitting on my desk and they were sort of the same color coding, I thought that I would use those. They are stickers. So we'll get that down. And I guess it's just, unfortunately, I'm sure we've all experienced grief in our lives. I know I have, and sometimes it is hard to keep going or have faith that things are going to get better. And by saying that, however you do, whatever you do believe in, whether it's the Lord or not the Lord, or that's private with you, but we still have to have hope that our lives we'll get better, I guess. That's a little bit crooked. And that's really stuck down. So I kind of thought I would just collage, and I wanted to get this May in there just, it's funny because it even has the same kind of color code, like the same tone of color, but I wasn't quite sure where I wanted this. So I'm going to try to get that in. And then I have this other little, so that's my postage related, and that's more floral background. And then this is postage as well. So it has from, and it's kind of like a paper airplane. Gosh, somebody's just going by on his bicycle with the old country music just blasting. Okay, and then I do have a couple more buttons that I want to put there. But my next thing that I want to do is look at something that lays eggs. So I've got this little sticker book, and I really like this little bird, and I think that he would fit in well. Oops, and he's a sticker, but it's kind of, I think I'll perch him. I think I want to layer this over here. And then I'm going to perch him sort of on the top there. There, I like that. And then with my May, I'm kind of thinking I might put it there. But I wanted it more kind of in this collage, this little cluster over to the side here. So let me just cut it off a little bit more. The weather is absolutely gorgeous here today in Halifax. I'm in Nova Scotia. And yeah, I like that. Just want to cut a little bit more. So I went and got all those groceries at Costco. Spent a lot more than what I had anticipated, which is always the way. And stopped at my Michael's, came home. And then I've been just trying to plan this out. Doing the collage for me sometimes, even when I get an idea, can be quite time intensive. I think that works good there. And then I want to maybe put those kind of like that and then perch another bird maybe on top of these so we can look and see if there's another bird. I definitely can tell that fall is approaching. The days are mostly cooler and the nights are even more so. And you can feel it in the air. Okay, so I think that's coming together. I need a bird for up there. I could put a blue jay because the blue jays are very common here. I have another, I don't really want to put a hummingbird. So here's some more. I'm kind of thinking this little chickadee or this little robin. No, I think he would suit here because then he's kind of sitting on those. He's being anchored to the buttons. So I think his little eyes, I think that's cute. All right, and then what else do we need? I could put a little bit of border down at the bottom, which might bring, I think that would be kind of nice. I don't need all of it though. And my blade, I cut this with my trimmer blade and it was dull. And so it leaves all those little paper hairs, a little fuzziness. I think that I will cut that about there and there. Work's been going good, very busy. Yeah, I like that. I have some new staff starting this week, so I'll be helping to train new staff. Okay, I like that. And then, is there something else from the little book that we might like? We could put a little page flag somewhere. I do want to do a little bit of stamping. And I don't want to take away too much from the main images. Maybe if I stamp there. So I'm not sure. There's this noted that I could put kind of here. Sometimes you don't really know how things are going to look until you put them down. But that, oh, that's cute, because then we've got this little cluster going here, and then our buttons. Yeah, I think that's, let's try to do a little bit of stamping. So Melanie had sent me some stamps, and in one of the packs that she had sent, there's these ones here, there was this cute little postage stamp. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way. So I thought we would have a go and see what that's like. Just using some very old Ranger ink pad, just the archival black ink. I do have a re-inker. Oh yeah, I like that. So I'm thinking of, yeah, that's what I want. So I stamp off just to take off the glare, and then I want to put that there. So I think that looks good. And then I think I'll do the same kind of down here. So I love that. And then I did pick up, just got to get some my baby wipes here. I just use baby wipes to wipe off the stamp. Got another stamp here, which I was going to stamp. I just think that I need something a little bigger. So I've got some stamps here I had received in a Creative Studios box that I got. Yeah, that would, oh, I think that will work well. And then, oh, that's, I like that. And then maybe down in this corner, because it kind of gives the circle effects there. I wanted something up there, but not as big as this. Just, I don't know, I just want to do a little something there. I could have put like a little piece of washi or something underneath there. But I don't. I've got some of the, if I can find them, the little scraps that came from the paper that I used there, that I've already cut from that paper pad. So it's just so gorgeous. I don't think I have any little strips. I was just thinking something just tiny, but I don't think that would go right. So what we could do, it says forever postage, positive postage is what that says. I always look at it and read it. So maybe I can just put that up there. Just very faintly. Yeah, I think, oh, that looks good. And then I think I'll do just a secondary stamp in there. The same down here. Oh, that turned out good. That's a bit faint, but that's nice. Okay, and then what about, I have a little stamp there. I think that's, I want another little something there. So I have a Tim Holtz one that I use sometimes. Let's try this one. Yeah, that's nice. So do a little double one there. The same there. Oh, up top there, I think I'll do a little double one. There, I think that's a wrap. So let's have a look and see. We've got our buttons, something related postal, something that lays eggs, something that turns, photo, and bonus is the floral paper. So we have all our stuff that we need, and I just wanted to give a close-up of Frank. And that's our collage for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy that. If you did, I'd love a like and subscribe if you'd like to. But until we meet again, I hope you stay safe and well, and bye for now.